today we're going to do a lying twist practice, yin style, so yin yoga style. You'll need for this a belt, a blanket, or maybe a pillow if you don't have a blanket, and a bolster. So again, if you don't have a bolster, you can use the wall, or you can use pillows, sofa cushions, things like that. So make sure you have those things to hand. And yeah, the lying twist practice, if you have a bad back, this probably isn't the best thing for you, so just bearing that in mind. I also suggest or recommend you wear a jumper. This is quite a slow practice. You want to feel warm as you're lying on the floor. And you can see I've got a blanket on my mat as well, just for extra comfort. So let's start by coming onto the back. Just having your belt on your right side. Just taking a moment to settle down into the ground. Good. And then just bring the right knee into the chest. We're going to take the belt over the right foot and come into half happy baby. So you can, what I suggest is holding both lengths of the belt in the right hand, bringing the right elbow to the ground, and right foot up to the ceiling, and drawing the right knee kind of towards the right elbow or the right armpit. And this left hand, palm face down on the ground, so it's acting as like an anchor for you. And we'll stay here for 1 or 2 minutes. So whilst you're here, thinking about keeping that left foot firmly on the ground as well. So left foot, left palm, acting as an anchor for the body. Right foot up towards the ceiling. Knee well bent, so you're bending the knee. So you're trying to draw the knee towards the right elbow or right armpit. Chin tucked in, so the back of the neck is nice and long, so you're not kind of crunching your shoulders up towards the ears. Closing the eyes if you can. Just letting the face be soft, relaxed. And just stay here for a moment or two longer. So I'm using the belt because basically my arms aren't quite long enough to hold onto my foot without my shoulder really coming off the ground. So I think it's better to use the belt so you can keep that arm off the ground, so the work's coming into the legs, into the hips. Maybe you feel it in your bum, your buttock muscles. So the shoulder, the neck aren't strained, aren't really coming into it in any way. Good, and now let's switch sides, so you can bring that right foot to the ground, hook your left foot into your belt, take both strands of your belt in your left hand. If you do have arms long enough to hold onto your left foot without your shoulder coming off the ground, then you can give that a go, but I think the belt really works even if you're able to do that. So again, bending the knee, left knee coming towards the left elbow, or maybe the left armpit, right hand palm face down, the right foot and hand are kind of anchoring you to the ground, holding on to the belt, so half happy baby. If you've seen a baby lying on their back, holding on to both of their feet, you should know what kind of action we're going for here. So you can close the eyes, just let the gaze soften, pausing here. So you want to keep the head, the neck still. If you see me moving around, I'm just keeping my eyes on the time. You don't have to keep your eyes on the time, I'll do that for you. Breathing nice and steadily. Good. Noticing the sensations in the body. So where do you feel this pose? In the hips, in the back of the legs, maybe in the calves. There's no wrong or right way to feel the posture. Just observing what you feel in your body. Maybe in this position with the left leg in the air, it's actually more of an effort in the right side of your body for some reason. Observing that. Good, and then that's nice and slowly coming out of that posture. So you can unhook your left foot, bring it down to the ground. Pausing in the centre for a moment, both feet flat on the floor. Good, and then we're going to raise our legs into the air, so knees into the chest. Again, hook your feet into the belt, feet up towards the ceiling, and one strand of the belt in each hand. Again, elbows. My suggestion is elbows on the floor, so there's this sense of space in the upper body, space across the chest and across the back of the shoulders as well. So trying to have your legs at a 90-degree angle to the body. Your knees can be bent if you need them to be, that's fine. Toes drawing towards the face, so it's like the soles of your feet are pointing up to the ceiling. Good, let's stay here for a few minutes. You can close the eyes, focus on the breath, nice, steady, even breathing. You can have the legs a little distance apart, the feet a little distance apart, if that works for you. And again, observing the sensations in the body. Where do you feel this posture? Where do you feel the effort, the stretch, the strain? Hopefully no strain, not too much strain. Good, so keeping the breath steady, not holding your breath in any way. Sometimes when posture is an effort, we tend to hold the breath. So if you catch yourself doing that, just breathing, reminding yourself to breathe, keeping it steady. Good, we'll be here for maybe 30 more seconds. Good, and then just bending the knees back into the chest. You can move the belt to one side. You don't need that for our next posture. Straightening the legs out along the ground. Allowing yourself to be held by the ground. Held and supported. And then we're going to move on to bananasana, one of my favourite poses, simply because of the name. So make sure you've got enough space at your hands behind you. Stretch your legs out along the ground, legs and feet together, toes pointing up to the ceiling. So we're going to do this in stages. So first of all, let's slide the right hand down towards the right foot and the right ear to the right shoulder. So we're bending down to the right side and we're stretching the left side of our bodies. Good. Keeping the legs together if you can. Let's pause here. Again, observing the sensations. You can turn your head to look to the right side as well. If you're reaching down, you don't have to move that far. Just feel that you're stretching the right side of the body, the left side of the body, moving to the right, stretching on the left. And then if this feels comfortable, if you want to stay here, you are most welcome. If you want to bring the arms into it as well, you can take the left arm over and above the head on the floor and lengthen that as well. So noticing how it feels on the left side of the body when you bring the left arm in. So if this doesn't feel good for you, you can just bring the left arm back down. And if the left arm doesn't want to reach all the way to the floor, you can bring support underneath it. So you can bring a blanket or cushions. If you have a restriction in the shoulder, using a support can be really helpful. Staying here, again remembering to breathe. If you want to stay here, then you can. You are most welcome. If you want to explore a slightly different posture or sensations, try bending that left elbow and then maybe taking the right hand, the right arm up to meet it. So elbow, holding onto the elbows, leaning over to the right side, stretching down the left side. Again, if you want to take pillows, blankets underneath the arms for support, then you can. And if you want to stay in this position, please do. If you want to increase the intensity of the stretch, then try moving the feet over to the right side as well. So now it's like the elbows, the right elbows and the right feet or both feet are kind of moving towards each other. The left side of the body is stretching, is lengthened, and this posture is called bananasana because you probably look like a big banana. So bearing that in mind, staying here, closing the eyes if you can, if it's comfortable, or just letting the gaze soften, not focusing on anything in particular. Remembering to breathe, observing the sensations in the body. Nice, steady, even breathing. And then when you're ready, on your next inhale, straightening the body. So sliding the feet, sliding the upper body. Just let the legs relax. Bring the arms down if you have them over and above the head. And just straightening out again. Good. And we'll do the same on the other side. So keeping the hands down to begin with. Let's slide the left hand towards the left foot. Good. And looking over to the left if you can. Pausing here. So you're stretching the right side of your body. Good. If you want to stay in this position, then you can. You can stay in the same position throughout the practice. If you want to intensify it a little bit, just taking the left arm over and above the head, moving the right arm over and above the head, moving the right arm over to the left. If your arm isn't quite comfortable there, you can rest it on a blanket or on a pillow. And then maybe you could bend your right arm and then lift your left arm, so you're just taking hold of the elbows with the opposite hand. Using support underneath the arms, or maybe not. Pausing here, keeping the eyes closed, keeping the head turned towards the left. And observing the sensations. If you want to stay at this point, please do. If you want to increase the sensations, then you could move your feet over to the left. So again, you're stretching down the right side of the body. It's like the feet, the elbows are moving towards each other. Noticing the change in the sensations. And once again, your body is curved, so you look like a big banana. Bananasana. Pausing here. And if you become uncomfortable at any point, at any stage, just moving out of it nice and slowly. Otherwise, seeing if you can maintain this posture, sustain this posture. Sense of stillness. apart from the only movement is the body moving as the breath comes in and out. Good, and then nice and slowly sliding the feet back to centre and the body back to centre as well. You can let go of your arms. If it's more comfortable, just bend your knees, feet flat on the floor. Just letting the body relax for a moment. And then, so everyone bending their knees, feet flat on the floor. Good. Then just taking your right ankle over the left knee, drawing the right knee away from you. Just pausing here for a moment. So it's like the legs are in a figure of four shape. And then if you want to stay here, you can. If you feel like this is enough of a stretch at the moment. If you want to intensify the stretch, just bring the knees in towards the body. You can either just float them here, so pause like this, or you can take hold of the back of the left thigh, drawing the knees in towards the body. So sometimes people's arms aren't long enough to reach, that's fine. It kind of depends on the length of your arms, your torso. And actually, if your arms don't reach, you can use a belt over the left knee. Just drawing the legs in towards the body. Again, shin tucked in, so the back of the neck is long. Breathing. Toes engaged, so toes drawing towards the knees, so the legs are engaged. And then nice and steady, just letting go of the legs, bringing the left foot down to the ground and then the right foot down to the ground. Good. And then switching over, so left ankle onto the right knee, drawing the left knee away, pausing here. So remembering this is slow yoga. Drawing the left knee away from the body. Left toes towards the knee, so the foot, the ankle is engaged. Observing the sensations. And if this feels enough for you, then please do stay here. If you want to increase the sensations, and just bringing the right foot off the ground, both knees in towards the body. Again, you can hold on to the back of the right thigh to draw the knees in towards you, or you can just use your belt over that right shin, drawing both knees towards you, feet engaged. Good, so relax the face. Focusing on the breath, nice even breathing. Not holding the breath in any way. If you feel you are holding the breath and can't breathe steadily, just bring the foot back down onto the ground. So you need to have nice even breathing. In order to make this posture sustainable. Good, and then on your next exhale, bring that right foot down to the ground, left foot down to the ground. Moving your belt to one side. And then we're going to move into a lying twist. So we're going to take the knees over to the right first. So you want to have your support, you want to land your knees onto something. So I'm going to suggest a bolster or pillows. And then maybe as well you want something in between the knees. So I'm going to put a blanket in between my knees. So having those to the right side. Lying down with the knees bent. Arms maybe at shoulder height, maybe a little lower than shoulder height. Take your hips over to the left a little, bring the knees into the chest and then over to the side. So landing the knees on the bolster, putting something in between your knees, making sure that support works for you. Good. Arms out nice and wide. So knees to the right, looking over to the left. Good, and staying here. Relaxing into the ground, feeling like you are supported by the earth. If you don't feel like you can breathe easily and steadily, take more support. Take what you need to allow your body to sustain this posture, to stay in this one position for a few minutes without discomfort. So noticing the difference between discomfort and effort. The posture may require effort but not be uncomfortable. And if it is uncomfortable, do just come out of the posture at any time. Otherwise, staying here as you breathe, as you are supported. We'll be here for 1 more minute. Good. So when you're ready, on your next inhale, bringing your knees back to center, feet down to the ground. Move your hips back to center as well. Pausing here. And then let's do the same on the other side. So moving your support onto the left side. Take your hips over to the right, knees into the chest. Move the knees over to the left. So taking something between the knees, under the knees, and arms out wide, looking over to the right. Closing the eyes if you feel comfortable, and allowing yourself to be supported. So really just surrender the weight of your legs onto the ground, onto your support, onto your cushions. Allowing your breath to flow easily in and out. If you feel uncomfortable at any point, taking more support or coming out of the posture. So you want to be able to sustain the posture, to stay in one position, but it shouldn't be an endurance test. So there should be some level of comfort as well as effort. We'll be here for 1 more minute. And in this final minute, just considering, do you need more support, less support? What would you like to do with this final minute? And then when you're ready on your next inhale, bringing your knees back to center, feet back onto the ground, just move your hips back to center as well. And then arms closer into the body, stretching your legs out. Pausing here for a moment. Let the back settle onto the ground. And then just bring the knees in towards the chest. Just hugging the knees in. If you want, you can just move the knees from side to side. Maybe moving the knees backwards and forwards. And then just taking one arm up next to your ear, rolling over onto that side. Gently bringing yourself up to sitting. Good, just stretching out in any way that feels good to you. Rolling the shoulders, rolling the head. And this brings us to the end of our Yin Yoga practice. Thank you.